How are you all doing? So we have already reached day 3 of the Holistic Wellbeing Program. I hope you enjoyed the first 2 days and your curiosity to learn more about nature cure. Uh, we hope that we ignited it. So today in day 3, we are going to learn about what are whole foods, what are refined foods, what kind of foods we should eat, and how density of the food we eat affects the prana shakti or the vitality of the body. Then we will understand, everybody says to gain energy or to feel well again, we have to eat high protein, high fat diets. We will understand if that is true, is that what the body wants? And we will also understand, low or zero vibrating foods which pull our energy down, which become an obstacle in our spiritual practice. And hence, what should we do to what kind of foods we should shift to? So that is what we will understand in day 3. So whole foods, what are whole foods? I'm sure. But when the food is refined, it becomes difficult for the body to process it. So we don't have to improve upon nature's perfect packaging. Nature has already taken care of it. The perfect texture, the aroma, the color, the sweetness, the different taste. For example, a mango, right? A whole mango in its ripe form, it is so tasty to eat. Is till today, even with all our technological advancements, we cannot produce a mango, isn't it? Only a tree can produce the mango by the assimilation of the natural elements like the sunlight, the air, the water from the ground, and the radiation. All these things, the tree assimilates and creates this mango. We do not have the capability of creating all these natural foods. All that we do is we take whatever nature has already perfected and we process it to make it so-called convenient. We enhance the sweetness and we cause dehydration of the food and we strip the food of nutrients. And the other thing is when whole foods are processed, they lose their fiber. Right? So when nature gives us food in whole form, in the package it contains the perfect amount of nutrients, the minerals, the water, and the fiber. So slowly the body digests that food. But when we eat refined foods, the fiber in them is removed because we are processing it. It is denatured. The whole food becomes denatured when we process it. So the natural check which nature has put in the food is removed and we will be able to overeat it. So just think about it. The whole form of rice is brown rice or red rice. You must have observed that you cannot really eat too much of rice, the brown or the red variety, right? Because it makes you feel full. But if the rice is refined to make it white rice, we can eat a lot more because it doesn't make us full so fast. The fiber is gone. So that is what is whole food, and nature meant us to eat fruits, vegetables, whole legumes, whole grains, nuts and seeds. Yesterday, Smita has explained about what are plant-based foods, why we should eat plant-based. So among the plant-based foods, the fruits, the vegetables, the whole legumes. Like, for example, if you eat green dal, green moong dal, you have to eat with the skin, not the yellow color moong dal where the skin has been removed. So, whole legumes, whole grains, and nuts and seeds. So, this is what nature wants us to eat. So, what about refined foods? So, refined foods means the maida, the rava, the white rice, processed millets. Yes, today even millets which you get in the shop, many times they have removed the husk and they process it. Then oil. Oil is again a processed form of nuts and seeds, right? Nature did not give us oil. We used the nuts and seeds and we did further processing on that. We crushed it and we extracted oil. So we made the food dense and we removed all the nutrition and the fiber. We made it pure fat, right? So that is causing a lot of health issues. Again, sugar. The whole form of sugar is sugar cane. But we took the sugar cane, we extracted the juice, we did a lot of processing, added chemicals, did centrifugation, then we added things like sulfur and phosphorus and made sugar, which we can eat a lot of. And we started adding it in sweets and all that, causing so many health issues. So chips, corn flakes, alcohol, all these are processed or refined foods and they are not whole foods, so the fiber is gone, the nutrition is gone, and a lot of uh, artificial enhancements have been done on this food. So the processed food industry today is a multi-million industry because the packaging is done so well. The marketing team of these companies who sell processed food, they have specialists, they have food technologists, they have marketing specialists. They do a lot of market study and survey, and they understand how to lure the people in order to eat the processed food. It's a highly competitive industry, um, fast moving consumer goods. So the manufacturers keep trying to increase the taste of their products, either by adding more fat or more sugar, more salt. All these things are added in order uh, that the product becomes so tasty that we can't just eat one, right? So there is even a advertisement, right? You cannot eat just one. So that's what happens. Imagine you open a packet of chips you bought from the shop and you will not be able to stop till you finish the whole packet, isn't it? Whereas if you make the same at home with less salt, less oil, maybe you bake it, you will see that you can't eat that much because the natural check of nature is missing. So yes, the refined foods may be convenient for us because as families have become busy, even the moms are working, the children are going to schools far away, it becomes very convenient for us to just open a packet and the food habits of our country have changed so much. Earlier, traditional breakfast has been replaced by cornflakes and oats and granolas and all that because we got fooled by the advertisement saying that they are healthy. So anything which is processed is not healthy and it is only going to cause overeating, obesity, and a loss of nutrition. So we will end up with deficiencies. So when there are deficiencies, when the body is not able to get the nutrition, there will be hair fall, there will be weak bones and nails, then eyesight issues, digestion issues, pains in the body, all these things will happen. So we have to follow nature's laws and only eat what is in the whole form from nature. So as I said, when we eat refined food, there is a loss of fiber. Fiber is very important to maintain the gut bacteria balance. So if that is not there, the gut becomes diseased and so many problems start, right? So they say many problems start from the gut, including mental health issues, then hormonal imbalance because the chemicals which are there, which the manufacturers put in the refined foods, it disturbs the hormones in our body. Yesterday, Smita has spoken about how animal foods have so many hormones which disturb our own hormone balance. So, PCOD, then hair falls, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, all these things, thyroid issues, they are all hormonal imbalances coming from refined foods. So refined foods have, the combination is grains and salt and sugar and fats and animal foods, everything. Or a combination of these will be present in that food. So basically, it's a combination of all these chemicals which disrupt our body's functioning. And because these refined foods do not have any nutrition, your body is not able to meet its nutritional needs, so it keeps on asking for food. You all will be very shocked to see that when you start eating as per the diet plan which we recommend, even though you eat very light foods, very simple foods, your hunger level will start decreasing. Whereas if you eat refined foods, you will feel more hungry. So how many of you have experienced this? Like you eat some chips or Chinese meal in the night, next day morning you will have more hunger pangs. Whereas if you eat something healthy, the hunger pangs in the morning are less. So lot of false hunger cravings happen when people overeat and start to put on weight. Mood swings because of hormonal imbalances, constipation because there is no fiber, and all these foods have lost the natural water in them. Nature put the perfect water. Smita will be talking about hydration soon, maybe in the next class. So the water which is there in the soil, the plant distills and keeps it in the fruit and the vegetable, and that is the purest form of water. But when we process it, when we heat it, when it is changed in the manufacturing plant, the water content is lost. So no fiber, no water, everything becomes hard inside and it causes constipation. So you may think that I don't have constipation, but actually speaking, almost everybody is constipated. If you eat 3 meals in a day, you have to go to the toilet 3 times. Most of us are only going once. That means there is a net arrears of waste in the body, which is causing disease. So there is loss of minerals and vitamins because when it is processed, all these things are gone. Without fiber and all that, we start overeating and it causes weight gain. Because the vitamins are lost, there will be deficiencies in the body. Even if you feel that you're eating all these supplements and all those things, actually supplements are also refined food, right? It's not how nature gave you. So it is going to cause more problems in the body. Then dental issues, because there is no fiber, things like sugar and too much grains, dairy products, all those things create acidity in the body, and acids, they corrode the teeth because the teeth are from the bony structure. So the body will take some minerals from the teeth to neutralize acids, and dental issues come. So you must have seen, right, in today's world, so many children are already having dental issues. They are having mood issues. Then they are gaining weight. When we were children, we did not see so many like youngsters or high school students who are overweight. But today we see more and more of that. They are having issues like PCOD, thyroid, gray hair, falling hair, mood swings, anxieties. All these things are because we are not eating real food. We are not eating food as given by nature. So we have to eat natural. That means as nature gave it in the original form and in the seasonal form. Imagine if you were living, in the forest. So you would be able to get access to only those fruits and vegetables which are growing around you, which will be seasonal. So if you follow nature's rules and eat food as far as possible in the natural, original, seasonal form, we will be able to enjoy the best of health, right? So the natural form of foods, it holds on to the energy of the sun. And that energy of the sun, the biophotons in the food vibrates at a high frequency, and when we eat that, our energy also gets elevated, which benefits our total health, our mental health, our spiritual health, our physical health. That's why even in Gudakesha, Master says that eat more fruits, eat raw, because he knows that the our frequency will increase when we eat simple foods in natural form as possible. Once we process it, we subject it to so many changes and we make it difficult for the body. That will bring down our spiritual sadhana, make our body and mind lethargic and heavy, and we won't be able to focus and go into the shunya state. So they stimulate the nervous system, making it more difficult to take rest. So now we will understand what are dense foods, what is the relationship of dense foods and vitality, high protein and high fat diets, are they good for us? And we will also understand zero vibrating foods. So suppose you are having you are feeling fatigued, or let's say anybody is having a serious problem, like let's say cancer or something like that, right? Or even if somebody is engaged in sports, what is one of the first advice the nutritionist or the doctor gives? They tell you to eat more. They tell you to eat more dense foods. They tell you to eat more protein foods, high fat foods, because they feel that is what the body needs. Now, what happens if we eat that kind of food? So here you see that every food has an energy of vibration. So this has been captured by what is known as Kirlian photography. They are able to take the photos of, for example, vegetables and map what is the energy of emitted by that food. So here you can see that a tomato which has been cooked, you can see that the aura or the energy band of that food is less than a raw tomato. A raw tomato is more vibrant, it has more energy. Similarly, cooked broccoli, you can see that the energy level reduces, whereas raw broccoli retains the natural energy of nature and it is vibrating higher. So you can see that every food has energy. This is measured in angstroms. So you can see highest is fruits, raw fruits. So you can see they vibrate very high. The fruit, right? It spends so much time on the tree, gathering the energies of nature. So automatically they do have so much energy. For example, you must have observed, when does a mango start? Actually last year itself in November, December, the flower comes. Then the flower will turn into the small fruit and it keeps on absorbing energy from the air, from the soil, from the sunlight, the radiation, and keeps growing in size. It takes 6 months for a mango, for a fully ripe mango to be ready to. So it has gathered so much of nature's energy. Vegetables are slightly lesser because vegetables get ripe little more faster than cooked vegetables. So we are changing the structure of the vegetables by cooking. You will see that it reduced. Now, if you really come to toxic foods, because yesterday, remember, Smita said that food, milk, cheese, meats, they are not our food at all. They bring down our body's energy. They make us more tamasic. So milk, cheese, white flour, cooked meats, you see how the amount of energy is reducing. So we have to eat foods which will at least be more or at least maintain the average energy level of our body, which is 6,500 angstroms. So you can see that like when we are diseased, the energy level in our body decreases. We start vibrating at lower energy. For example, cancer patients, it is lower. That doesn't mean that we are always stuck at that level. As long as we we start doing meditation, svadhyaya, then we start eating right, connect to nature, All these things will restore the energy levels of our body. So what we eat literally becomes us, right? Food is not inert. Food talks to the human body. The live foods have the capacity to change our body. So the more energetic the foods we eat, the more vibrant and healthy we feel. And that how does it translate to? We feel lighter in our body. Our sadhana becomes easier. We become calmer. We are more friendly with others. We stop judging others. We are always happy. So food has the great potential to change all these things, and especially fruit is our superfood. It has the highest electrical food on the planet. It vibrates with very high frequency. So we should eat more and more fruits. When we come to the diet plan, we'll be explaining how to make sure that you can eat your daily dosage of fruits and vegetables. How to change your breakfast and lunch and dinner to enjoy more natural foods. So now we also come to the concept of density of food, right? So we think that if we eat highly dense foods, we get more energy. So we think that if we eat paneer or ghee or butter, right? They are all dense foods, right? The milk has been boiled. To make 1 kg of ghee, it takes 20 to 30 kgs of milk. So those are dense foods. But we have to remember that body just doesn't accept any food you give it to us. The food undergoes processing inside the body before it is digested or assimilated or excreted. So the body is not a dumb thing that it will just accept whatever you put inside and just absorb it inside the body. No, actually the body is going to examine each and every food. It is going to break it down into the components of radiation, air, water, and then assimilate it into the body. So the more dense a food is, the more the energy has to be expended by the body to digest it, right? For example, um, if you have to break a stone, right, it requires a lot of energy from your part to break the stone because it is dense. Whereas, let's say you take some porous brick, for example, its density is less. So to break that requires less energy from you. Same way, your body, if it is continuously fed high density foods, which are the high density foods? The cooked foods. Cooked foods always increase the density. By cooking, we are changing and increasing the density of food. So the body spends more energy to digest it. A fruit can get digested within 1 hour, whereas if you eat something cooked, it may take more than 9 to 10 hours to digest. So you see the difference uh, in this. So the more we eat dense foods, the more tired we feel, because where is your body's energy going? It is going in breaking down and digesting of these foods. That's why if you eat some heavy cooked like festival meal, right, you feel like taking rest, taking a nap, and just sleeping it off. So 2-3 hours you just sleep, isn't it? Because the food is getting digested by the body removes uh, the energy from the brain. Everything is going to the stomach and the digestive organ. So you start feeling sleepy and you just sleep and the body digests all these things. So if you really want to feel energetic, sharp in your mind, and you want to feel light on your feet, then you have to eat more lighter foods. So we will be discussing what is acid alkaline food in the subsequent days, but you can see the density of foods here. We have to eat less of what is on the left side and eat more from what is on the right. So the cola, the processed foods, what we buy, the biscuits and snacks, meat and dairy, lot of cooked food, like complex cooking. So today we have like cooking programs which teach us how to make food more complex, right? To mix and match and create complex combinations. All those things rob energy from our body. Also, meat, fish, dairy, then sweets, all these things we have to start reducing and take more water, which is neutral, and more alkaline foods. Alkaline foods are mainly coming from fruits and vegetables. So, whatever is in season, we have to eat that, and they are also less in density. So imagine if you are giving animal products to a person who has cancer. See, during cancer, what happens? The body needs a lot of energy to heal, right? Because it's like an advanced stage of disease. So if we are putting dense food into the body, thinking that the body needs energy, strength by eating egg, for example, egg is a highly dense food because it is going to make a life. It has all the material to make an entirely new life. So it is highly dense, lot of cholesterol and fats, everything is there. So if you give somebody who is diseased dense foods, all the energy of their body will get locked up in digestion, and they start feeling worse than before, and their disease keeps progressing. So we will talk more about that in the further classes. But the lesser the density of food, the simpler of food is, the more we eat from the fruits and vegetables category, the better it is for our body. So people say eat high protein, eat those protein bars, eat eggs for protein, eat meat for protein. Then they say that, if your child is playing sports, they need high fat, high protein foods. But seriously, think about this. The animals like horses, which have so much speed and strength. If a horse kicks you, you can soon be dead, right? Even a cow. They are huge animals. Gorilla, for example. If you get beaten up by a gorilla, all your bones will break. So, are they eating high protein, high fat foods? Are they eating all those things? They are eating mainly leaves, fruits, vegetables, right? So their body makes what is needed. We don't need to feed our body high protein and high fats. Actually, our body cannot utilize protein just like that. Protein is a complex food. It has to be broken down into amino acids before it is assimilated by the body. Breaking down of protein structures to form amino acids is a very energy intensive process. So body is losing energy. Similarly, fats. We think that our children need a lot of fat, so we give them oily food, we feed them ghee, curd, cheese, milk, all these things. What happens? They get overloaded, and many of these are refined fats. So the blood gets saturated with these fats. So what happens if you put a lot of grease into a liquid? It starts flowing very slowly, right? It gets saturated with grease. Same thing, our blood gets saturated with all these oils and fats, and blood starts flowing slowly. Actually, our heart pumps and blood, and it actually travels at high speed inside our body. But when we put all these high fat foods, speeds reduces and we start getting aches and pains. We start getting brain fog because there is less supply to the brain, less supply to different parts of the body. So it signals it as pain. So all these things happen. The moment you stop all these high protein, high fat foods, many things improve inside the body because the body's energy is freed up, the blood starts getting thin again, and every part of the body starts working better. Especially animal fats are the single cause of cholesterol inside our body. Actually, our body makes its own cholesterol and it makes only as much as required. But we take cholesterol coming from food from outside and we spoil the balance. So that's why people end up with cholesterol issues. Then high blood pressure, diabetes, because all these fatty foods they injure our blood vessels, they cause hormonal imbalance, so causing all these chronic issues. We'll be covering chronic issues, acute issues in more detail on one of the days. But briefly, all these fats, right, the fats, the proteins, when it is not digested and metabolized properly, the body creates toxins, and these toxins are taken by the body and made into stones and stored in different parts of the body, because the body doesn't want these toxins to be flowing in the blood, because the body knows that it will cause damage. So as a safekeeping, just like when we sweep our houses, we put all the dust in a corner, right? Same way, body collects all the toxins and makes stones. So gallbladder stones is actually more of the fat. Kidney stones is more of the chemicals and the other toxins. Then heart problems, low oxygen in the blood causing pains in the body, excess wear and tear. So the more we eat high dense foods, the more the body's energy is going away. So you will age faster. We all have only a limited amount of energy in our body. So the more we eat higher density food, the more the body's energy is getting used up there, and body doesn't have time to do proper cleanup. So your skin will start sagging, skin discolorations will happen, eyesight may come down. So wear and tear in the body will increase faster age, right? So we should stay away from these complex foods and eat simple, the way nature designed the food for us. So you see that there are certain foods which are really very low vibrating foods. They are going to pull us down and cause uh, low energy. So dairy, all forms of dairy, eggs, meat, sugar, suji or rava, which we used to make upma, maida, white flour, white rice, honey. Honey is again refined, it has no fiber. Store-bought man-made products, very spicy food, alcohol, cigarettes, caffeine, even if it is green tea or other teas, they are all very low in the vibration scale, and they will cause our energy levels also to come down. So I used to suffer from anxiety, like I told you, right? Uh, so very low energy, anxious all the time, because I was eating a lot of low vibrating foods. So I was sensing it as low energy and low sense of life. So kind of depressed, anxious person. The moment I started eating more natural foods, rich in water, rich in the energy of the sun, so bright and colorful, my mood also elevated, my health started getting better. So it is best, friends, to avoid all these things. All these things are not created by nature. They also create a lot of waste in the environment, right? It comes with all the packaging. Each and every one of these plastic packaging is going to go and clog up our earth. So let's eat more natural foods. So this is what I wanted to cover today. Tomorrow we will be speaking in more detail on acidic body, which are the foods which create acids in our body, which creates pain in our body, which causes inflammation, and hence how do we neutralize it by eating more alkaline foods, and how do we improve hydration levels. So these are all very important topics we will speak tomorrow. But what is the time? Okay, so it's almost 8:30.
Asha, do you want me to handle the question and answers? You want to go?
No, I'm yeah, but you can also help if there are a lot of questions. So if you have any questions, masters, raise your hands or put it on chat. Anyone wants to raise your hand? So friends, masters, actually building health is very simple. We don't need to break our heads about complex food combinations. Go and visit superfood stores and buy all those artificial superfoods which promises high vitamin, all these things. So they are all, even if it is vitamins and supplements, right? They are processed. So we should avoid them and take more from nature's table. So nature has already set out all her fruits and vegetables on her table. We just need to go and take from there. Okay, so Pinder ji, I'm going to unmute you.
Good evening, friends. Good evening, Asha and Smita. Wonderful job. We are getting a lot of info, and I'm really impressed by all the things which I'm really understanding now. All our previous notions, they are all getting, what should I say? They are getting kicked.
Yes.
And this is paving way towards new ways of food habits, developing right habits and all. I just have one or two questions. One
Yes,
thing is there that from the day one we have been attending your sessions, you have been telling that animal food is not good for us, right? So my question is that although we are taking A2 milk at home and we are not even consuming a lot of quantity, like 1 kg milk a day for me and my husband, like two people are there, so only that much. So my question is that if we totally give up on milk, like if we give up on milk, then we should gradually give up on ghee also, right?
yes.
And if we give up on milk, although we are not consuming much of it, but just a cup of tea in the morning after eating breakfast and another cup of tea, this has become our very old habit.
Mm, yeah.
So you know what? Will you suggest some substitute for that? Like if we take morning breakfast and we are used to
Yeah,
taking a cup
yeah.
of tea.
Everything we are going to suggest. How to replace, what are the different recipes, everything we will be suggesting. So
Okay.
slowly we have to transition. See, tea and coffee itself is not natural. Actually, just try eating some coffee powder just like that. It is very bitter. Or just
Yeah.
put some tea powder in your mouth. It is so dry and bitter. So it is not even tasty. That means nature is telling us it is not your food. So what are we doing? We are taking that, boiling, we are putting sugar and milk and cardamom and all those things. We are manipulating our taste buds. We cannot keep fooling the body like that. Someday or the other, the body will revolt with problems. So the tea, coffee itself has to be stopped. We will be speaking about that when we come to diet plan because they are acidic foods. So
Okay.
when that is gone, there is no need for you for any A2 milk or anything. See, A2 milk is meant for A2 carb, not for
Yeah.
us. We are not carbs, so we don't need A2 milk. So a lot of this is marketing. First they said organic milk, then they said A2 milk, then Indian cow milk, so many things because they have to keep changing their name also in order to
Mm-hmm.
sell. They are not wrong. They are just in the business of profit. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we have to understand that and learn what is our natural food.
Okay, so you know what I was thinking that if we give up on milk, then can we go for black tea or black coffee? But then you say that is also harmful. That's not right, right? So gradually this transition will take place. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
Yeah,
okay,
herbal tea you can have.
okay.
So many
Hmm.
herbal teas are there. So I know that tea and coffee are very dear to people. They just cannot think of parting with that because it's like a culture, right? You make it
Hmm.
for your husband and both of you
And
sit
they are
together
a
and
bit
do some
habit
cup shop.
forming also.
Yes, yes.
Actually, if I may add something here, so typically tea and people do switch to black tea and black coffee in the beginning, but
Hmm.
as your consumption of fruits and juices increases, you will actually not even feel like drinking them anymore because the body will start becoming satisfied with natural sugars coming from fruits, and you will not
Okay.
feel like having coffee and tea anymore.
Okay.
So it'll be
And
that
you know,
he will just get will move away
okay.
from it. And then what
Smita,
will feel like Asha said?
just one more thing, like today, Asha has told about the refined foods and even this suji you put across that we should not be consuming suji also. So, you know what, generally for breakfast, sometimes we are making upma or something like that. So we use suji for that. So if we don't use suji, then you tell us some other option for that, like which can be used for
Yeah,
breakfast.
actually, we will be explaining that in the morning time it is not good to eat cooked foods because it hinders the detoxification process of the body. See, we
Okay.
have been eating oats or dalia, upma, rava,
Oats,
I mean
yeah.
upma, bread, parathas. All these things are dense foods which we are putting in the body right in the morning. Whole night
Okay.
the body has been fasting, right? There
Hmm.
is no
Hmm.
food intake. So it's in a very vulnerable state, the body. So
Acha.
we are
Hmm.
shocking the body by putting tea and coffee and
Hmm.
upma and all those things with a lot of oil,
Hmm.
all those things. So we have to wake up the body gently. If we jolt it, we also feel, high, disturbed vibration, and we won't be able to do meditation and other things. So
Okay.
we will
Hmm.
speak when we come to diet plan. What is the ideal breakfast?
Right, right.
And on one day we have kitchen substitutes. One full class is about kitchen substitutes. We will be
Okay.
explaining
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
the different substitutes, how you can start setting up your plant-based kitchen. So from there
Okay.
you will get more ideas about it.
Okay. Because presently, when I think now, then I feel I have very limited breakfast options. Like today, you said that even solid
So
cooked
many options are there, madam.
food.
So nature,
Okay.
nature has given so many different colors and fruits and vegetables.
Yes,
Simply
yes.
we are, wasting our time cooking in the morning and
Hmm. Hmm.
creating
Hmm.
more burden on the body. So we'll
Yes.
discuss that shortly.
ठीक है.
So,
Thank you.
so yeah,
Thank
thank you. So
Uh,
Nidra,
Janvika and other people, if you want to ask your questions, it will be also good if you can come and ask on the rather this video session. It will be great because you will also get a detailed answer. Typing may not be, typing has a limitation. Thank you. Do consider that.
Sumedha ji.
Yeah, namaste, both Asha ji and Smita ji. Excellent contents. I mean, very high level and high energetic contents. I mean, I think that the way in which you're talking about, I mean, we are the last in the, kingdoms, and so similarly, this is like the pinnacle of all the knowledge and the wisdom which I have been gathering in last so many years. So really very wonderful and very feeling very grateful and nice. I have got one question that I have heard that vegetarian and vegan people, they are falling short of vitamin B12. That's what they say. And so vitamin B12 is to be supplemented from the market and all. So what do you suggest for that?
Yeah, so this is one of the many myths which are there that that basically the marketing companies have also a role to play. So they have to create a market for new products, right? So the B12 they will say is deficient, so they can sell B12 tablets, or they will say for omega-3 you need to take fish tablets, or they will say for protein you need to take meat. For calcium, you have to take dairy products or calcium tablets. So, actually, the body, is an amazing alchemist. Means the body will mix and match all the natural inputs we give, and it will make what is missing. For example, you see a coconut tree, right? Or what does it do? It is just taking solar radiation, water and minerals from the ground and the wind, and it is creating such a beautiful, tasty fruit, isn't it? How does it do it? It is beyond human understanding, actually, these things. Who does it? What is the intelligence which is there in that tree which creates this fruit? We don't have answers for all this. It is just the vital energy, the conscious vital energy which is there in that tree which is creating that. So similarly, if the body needs some B12 or calcium or vitamin D, whatever, the body itself can manufacture it. And actually, we have enough reserves of all these things already in our body. When we were born itself, the body has been created with enough reserves. But if we are continuously eating, we are continuously eating the wrong food, dense food, we are taking up our body's energy in digestion only. So even if there is a deficiency, the body cannot correct it. Right, so we will be speaking about diet plan and how to do fasting and all those things. So even if there is a deficiency, body will correct itself. And B12 is not made by animals. It's not there in animal food. As such, it is made by bacteria in our gut. The gut bacteria makes B12. So if we maintain our gut in the right way by not eating excess processed foods, dairy, meat, and all that, the correct amount of bacteria, the health of the gut will all become normal, and whatever B12 you need, body itself will make. We don't need to supplement it from outside. So we have not taken B12 injections or supplements for many years now, and it is normal. So we don't need those things.
See, which is why people who are on non-vegetarian, typically people who are on non-vegetarian diets, vegetarian diets, and so here the acids are very high in the gut. So even if they take supplements, it does not retain in the gut. That is why every day you'll have to take it. So what is the point? So here the body is not making it, means even if you take it, the body will not use it. It is just for our satisfaction we are taking it. Because we say, okay, the medical reports say that it is deficient, so I'll have to supply.
Like reverse engineering.
When somebody says this is going to go wrong, that is going to go wrong, who really knows what goes wrong? Because what has been published in the reports and all that is based on some input and output research that has been done on certain number of people. We were not those kinds of people. And everybody's lifestyle is different. Their thinking habits are different. You can't even compare one person to another person. How can you compare? Let's say if they've done it on 1,000 people. We were not one of those 1,000. So how can it apply on us? So that is the issue with the supplements. So for our satisfaction, we take supplements. And it is also like a placebo. Mentally, we can go, I'm taking something, that is why I'm going to become all right. D vitamin also is like that only. We definitely have to go out in the sun for our well-being, because sun is the natural source of energy on the planet. When all the animals are doing sun bath and then they are okay, even we have to do sun bath. But that doesn't mean that when we do sun bath only D vitamin happens. We have to do sun bath for many reasons, not just for D vitamin. And when our body is not internally clean, even if we go and do sun bath for one full day also, we may not make that D vitamin, because body needs to have multiple ingredients, including the sun, for that D vitamin to be produced inside the body. So it is nature doesn't say, if you have sun, whatever may be your body condition, I will give you D vitamin, I will give you everything. It doesn't work like that. Sun also has to be there, body also has to be clean, your mental condition also has to be okay. So that is why we are called intelligent beings. For us, we have to think in multiple directions and balance in multiple directions, whether it is earth element, sun, water element, foods, mental, emotional, spiritual, everywhere we have to balance. That is when we are called people on the top of the food chain. Animals cannot do that. So we are different from animals. So a lot of expectation is there from nature to keep us healthy. If we have to be healthy, then we have to balance all these things. That is why you have got an intellect, you have got all these 5 sense organs which has to work in parallel. So all of these things are there for the human being. So that's why we have to balance everything. So we just cannot say, okay, I will take some medicine and I'll be okay. I'll eat whatever I want, I'll take medicine and I'll be okay. It doesn't work like that. First of all, if we keep going in our natural path, as close as possible to natural path, whether you take supplements or you don't take supplements, you will still be healthy. Because even I am D vitamin deficient, even I am B12 deficient, but I don't see any problem that is bothering me in my day-to-day living. I do my exercises, I eat my proper raw meals, all of that I'm doing. It's not like I'm actually showing the symptoms that are told by doctors. Why am I not showing symptoms, even though I'm deficient? Because body has so many backup systems. If we are not doing agriculture, if we are not getting all that in things inside our body has enough reserves to make enough B12. Whatever B12 we have, that much is probably enough for the body, because I am probably a different, unique person. Somebody else is unique in their own way. So like that, we should not really worry too much about many of these things. We should just say, okay, I'm not still aligned with nature. I will go align with nature. You're okay, right, Sumedha? You have any other question?
Yeah, I think we can close the session. I'm going through multiple. I'm vegetarian 6 months before came to know about severe hatred. I'm going through multiple issues, speech, memory, and insight. If our body has ability, then why am I facing these issues? Yeah, Pramod, that's a good question. See, the body never wants to give us problems. It is working on our side. The reason why we are having those conditions is because somewhere we have not understood natural laws. We are giving the wrong inputs to the body. We are keeping the body busy with all these dense foods, with unsuitable foods. We are disconnected from nature, disconnected from ourselves. So when this disconnection happens, uh, the body shows it out with different symptoms. So remember, we spoke on the first day that all issues are because of toxins inside the body. So you said you are vegetarian, right? So vegetarian means you are taking dairy products, right? And you see, the animals, like yesterday, Smita would have spoken about that. The animals go through a lot of anxiety and like anxiety and other issues themselves because they are kept in confinement. They are killed in front of each other. The calf is separated from its mother. So many things. So these products are also high in toxins. So when we take them, it will definitely cause all these problems in the body. So I also used to have anxiety issues. I also had issues with my memory. I was not able to remember many things. So all these things will improve if you move to a natural diet, and if you not only diet, if you also make other lifestyle changes and keep doing your sadhana in terms of meditation. The body's self-healing capability is right now slowed down because of wrong inputs. So once we correct the inputs, the body will start detoxing more as the wrong inputs are taken out, and it will come back to balance. So don't worry. It's just detoxification and some time and love should be given to your body. It will set itself right.
True. I think to add to what Asha said, the gut is very, very important for many of these psychosomatic issues. And also, your background and how you're dealing with life in general. What is your perspective towards life in general? So there are many cases of depression and many cases that I have handled, which they have a very happy family. They don't have any reason to be depressed, but their gut would be really compromised because of their life habits, lifestyles. So once you start cleaning up your gut and acids start moving out of the body, the body will send the right signals to the brain, and you will actually start thinking in the right direction. If you listened to my conversation yesterday, I also spoke about how certain clients that I had automatically, who had emotional mental issues, who automatically went in that direction once their body started detoxing. This was in 2016, 17. That's when I realized that, okay, some amount of, when I start coaching them even before, then that alignment was much more faster. So I think once you start leading this plant-based lifestyle with a lot of fruits and juices in your diet, you will see that many of your issues also are going away. Initially, you might see that all this is slightly overwhelming, but it should go away very soon. See, if you live for 40 years with all these kind of habits, you should give at least 1 year for your body to heal.
Yeah, makes sense, Smita. And somebody also said that the medical industry keeps changing the normal levels, which is very true. Even the sugar levels, the blood pressure levels, vitamin D levels, they keep changing. So, without judging anybody, we would just like to say that rather than depend on all these test parameters for our health, let us depend on what the body is communicating to us. If we are always tired, if digestion is not happening well, if we have some mental issues, we are not happy, we have aches and pains. All these things already tell us that there is something wrong. So we don't really have to go and test and find out what is exactly what is wrong. Because when we correct the inputs to the body, everything will get corrected holistically. The body will not correct only one part and leave the others. Everything the body will correct in a holistic way. Okay, so again tomorrow at 7:30 with a new topic. So thank you all for joining today. Bye-bye. Good night.
Lakshmi ji, you can basically close the call.
May I end the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.